Hello and welcome to one more episode of Ideas to the World. Enjoy your trip. Today I want to share you three pillars to look at behavior so you can master it. Master your own and understand the others. Pillar number one, it is emotion. Number two, thought. Number three, behavior. These all three pillars are interconnected in a triad, the triad. So the behavior will influence the emotion and also the thought. The influence on emotion from external stimulus like music will influence behavior and will influence thought. And thought will influence emotion and it will also influence behavior. So these all three, they influence each other. So in a normal way, a person that feels fear from being exposed in public, for example, talking to a small group of 5 persons, for example, or 10 persons, small presentation, small training for something, for work, for example, the person feel fear. So the tendency it is to, well, act accordingly to the emotions of fear. So running away, making excuses, etc. On that line. But when the person changes the behavior, even though the thoughts are there of fear and my God, I don't know if I can do this, but the person changes the behavior and inherent to that also changes the thought of saying, man, I want to surpass this, I'm going to face my fears. Boom. The person starts to be exposed to the fear. The person starts to act different in the world, and with that, the emotion, consequently, it will change. Now, this takes some time because neuroplasticity doesn't act like that in a moment, but happens, we can say, all the time, very slowly, with small adjustments from the inputs that we give them from the external world. So the person might not lose entirely the fear after 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, but the expectation of when we are intervening on these types of situations, if we are acting out in a psychology, well, we are with a psychologist, it is to be seen a decrease in fear along sessions. Some people take more time, other people take less time. So that's how you also change narratives. The person from having the narrative internal narrative of saying I can't do this, is not for me, I'm not sure if I can do it. The person will change to, oh, this is not that hard. This is more easy than I thought. Maybe this is for me. Or I feel proud from the work I've done. I feel proud from the speech I've done to my colleagues and friends. So they are all interconnected. Changing one will change inevitably other. So the emotion that it is influenced by factors by what you eat, if the person exercises or not, sleep, emotional support, financial resources in a more indirect way will influence emotion. Normal fluctuations of humor, and even though this is humor, of course that will put the person more sensibly or less sensibly, emotionally speaking, towards external stimulus. And stimulus is everything. It can be a context, a word, an object, a person, is everything that triggers or simulates in the person something. In this case, we are talking about emotion and thought, if you want to put that in that way, and if you want to go into a broader state, behavior. So those types of things also will influentiate how the person will think throughout the day and throughout their life, depending on their emotional state. That will influence their thought and their behavior consequently. Knowing this, it is possible for you to win more consciousness about how you are feeling and the moment that you are, to master your behavior, to understand more and less where you should be act out a certain type of thing or do some acts and behaviors, and others that maybe should engage less. For example, in tough decisions that they are really crucial decisions for the one's life, the person can delay the thought and think and strategizing to a day that he is in a better mood, or at least in not such a stressed day. Of course, we hope that it is a chance, because we know from real life experience that sometimes, because of previous decisions or just imprevisibility of life, we have to make some hard decisions in a small short period of time. But the more good habits and behaviors we have towards ourselves to increase positive emotion, like the ones I described, which also gives better thought, better memory, better focus, attention, concentration, better mood regulation, man, you are definitely more prepared to take hard decisions. This is a video, short and simple. If you want to support this type of content, you can give me a tip or a symbolic subscription on Patreon. Also, if you want to work with me, I can be your personal development coaching guy. So let's work out. Put a like if you want, subscribe, you know what to do. Thank you, and as always, good luck.